and welcome to my podcast, Soul Expansion and Inspiration. This is Series 3, Episode 6, and my name is Allie O'Shea. Today, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to Kevin Morris. Hello, Kevin.
Hello there, Allie. How are you?
Great, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much for asking. Yeah, all in good place. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Good. Love the Buddha in the background there. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's what I aspire to be one day, hopefully. Not that I will.
You can be, do or have anything.
Yeah, of course. Aspire to whatever you want to be.
Exactly. So you are an experienced Angelic Reiki master, and you're based in Liverpool, hence the accent, which I love.
That's right. Yeah.
Being a big Brookside fan, now our American audience won't know what that is, but I was back in the day for my sins, a big Brookie fan.
Yeah.
But you have clientele across the world and in the UK where you are, and your life experience and passion for helping people provide you with an empathy and a drive to help as many people as possible. Okay, so you're doing amazing things over there, I know that, but I want to go back a little bit through your sort of your history, your earlier years that sort of leads up to where you are now. You've been through some traumatic times in your up to your early 20s or your mid 20s.
Yeah.
Your cousin died, the first love of your life and love of your life, who you were with for 7 years, died as well, and she had given you a daughter.
Yeah.
You had lost a business, and then you, after your first love had died, you had gone on then later on, some years later, isn't that right, to marry again?
I'm married, yeah. And
married, sorry, not again.
Yeah, just married, yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
And so then you kind of entered a really, really dark time, didn't you, with drink and drugs and all of that kind of stuff, a really, really dark time. Do you want to tell us a little bit about, this dark time? Because I do feel that it's a poignant, the little bits and pieces that put us together or put together our story when it comes to us later down the track, maybe having an awakening or enlightened moments that sort of bring us to the place where you are at now, for example.
That's correct. Well, like I always explain, when we suffer with trauma, it has a massive effect on our energy. And let's use the sacral chakra, for example. When we, suffer with really hard emotions and trauma, when that chakra is knocked out of alignment, that's the chakra that holds on to addiction. This is why people emotionally eat. This is why people, cause addiction to drink, drugs, whatever. There's always trauma or some sort of emotions attached to that.
Yes.
And obviously with my cousin dying, he was like my brother. I was on a night out with him when I was 18. That was a massive traumatic time for me. I worked with him. I grew up, went to school with him. And I'll never forget, the anxiety with that. And then obviously, like you've explained, with my first love passing away when my daughter was only 4. It was just one traumatic event after another. And I always explain as well, like how Albert Einstein says, you can't create energy, you can't destroy it, it'll only transform from one form to another. So we're all born with this beautiful energy. Life gets in the way and transforms it for us through our thought processing. And it creates these emotional blocks. So when I went through all these life's experiences, what you've explained, my way of dealing with it was going out of a weekend and partying, showing people that I was larger than life. I was always, the party animal and the last one to go home if I did go home, things like that. Because obviously when it was a weekend, when my daughter was away at her grandparents, that was my time to shine. I'll always say that. And I was a truck driver as well for many years, and held the job down and stuff like that. Got my head together on a Sunday evening, focused on my work and my daughter. But yeah, it was just, I just felt like I was just pushing myself. Then I decided I wanted to go to counselling many years ago. And counselling for me, I just, I actually, at the end of the one session, I said, as you know, I was explaining to him that I had a problem. I'll be honest with you, I had a cocaine problem of a weekend.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go a weekend without it. That was the problem. And he turned around to me and he said, you know, you can't just stop doing something. You still got to reward yourself somehow of a weekend. So he says to me, what's your favourite food? At the time, I'm vegan now, but at the time it was red meat, a piece of steak. And he said,
Me too.
okay. Yeah, he said, get a piece of steak on a plate and put some cling film over it. And then every time you get your sandwiches out the fridge every morning, he said, say to yourself, that's your reward on a Friday for being good. So I said to him, you know, have you ever had cocaine? And he said, no, I haven't. I said, well, you know, a piece of steak isn't going to cut it, mate. I said, because, you know, come Friday night, that's all I want to do is party. I don't want to just go and eat a piece of steak. So anyway, I said, thanks for your help. I said, but I don't feel that you've got, you know, he's never done this. He can't teach me how to suck eggs, basically. And I got up, shook his hand and walked out. And then I carried on regardless. Years later again, went to hypnotherapy. Didn't work. It worked for a couple of weeks. But for me, it's, you know, it never worked. And then obviously I just carried on my old ways. And, but then I got into a dark place, a real dark place. Many years ago, it was just like, it got to the point where I just felt I needed some sort of divine inspiration. And my soul just basically started looking for that. And I started looking on YouTube of all places.
Yeah. You
and
found Jamie Butler, didn't you? That was in 2017.
It was just before that when I found, it was about 2016 when I found Jamie channeling Jesus. But basically, yeah, she was channeling Jesus. And I thought, you know what? Wow, this is the main guy. I'm really interested in what this guy's got to say. You know, I was brought up a Catholic, but you know, to get to see it, a medium channeling Jesus for me was like, wow, you know. And but even though it wasn't a practicing religion, I still had this affiliation with Jesus. I always felt I had it, and so that's what happened. So. And then I tried to look up that video again a couple of weeks later, and then another lady kept popping up, Pamela Allen kept popping up. And I found a link at the bottom of her video, and I clicked on that, and I ended up in a spiritual group. And I started speaking to like-minded souls, and you know, I ended up getting into spiritual groups, and then next thing you know, I started speaking to my like-minded souls. So that's when I started to wake up a little bit.
Well, you were still doing the cocaine at this time, and
I was at that time. But obviously, you know, I was trying to get that divine inspiration, and my soul was under this. It felt like it was encased in this dark shadow, but it was trying to break out.
Yeah.
And obviously, me looking and getting guided to these places was the little beacon of light that I was looking for.
Perfect.
And but then, yeah, like you say, 2017, I started walking the path of sobriety. I started praying. I started, but you know, I kept falling off the wagon, so to speak. You know, you'd go like a month or two here, then you'd fall off the wagon, and I would be praying. I'd be saying, you know, please take this off me. It was like I was carrying the biggest weight around my shoulders. It was all anew. You know, I went out from the young age, teenager, partying. And growing up in Liverpool, it was all about the club scene. And it was just like, it's just that way of life just constantly lives with you.
Yes.
But it's a hard thing to get rid of, especially when you're using drink and drugs as a crutch as well for what's happened in your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, very difficult.
So
2017, the other medium that you met then in 2017 wasn't Jamie Butler, it was somebody else. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was just a lady who I spoke to in spiritual groups, and she said it was actually I actually put a picture up of myself and said, "Is anyone getting anything from this?" And she connected through my eyes and said she had my grandfather there, and And I started connecting with him. My grandfather was saying, because I was on the path of sobriety, keep on going, son. You know, this is the path you need to be on. And I was getting all these messages left, right, and centre. I was like, wow, I was blown away by it. So I went on the path of sobriety for like 6 months, went to Canada, and then basically what happened is, you know, I basically, when I was on my way home, I started feeling poorly off the flight, and I got like I felt like there was flu. So and that's going to lead then on to what happened next, which was the thing that I got woke up with, which was in the middle of the night. I asked for healing, and it was I asked for Archangel Raphael to come to me, and I got woke up at 3 in the morning, and when I looked down, it was like in between the awake and sleep state. And as I've woke up, and my eyes are still closed, I've looked down and I could see all this green energy flowing all over my body. And he actually showed my Facebook picture, but it looks so life-filled and so happy. And I heard the words loud and clear in my ear, January, Kev, January. And this happened in about the October 2017.
Okay. And were you scared when you woke up and you saw this green energy, or did you know that color was linked with Raphael and healing?
That was it. I just knew it was him, and it didn't freak me out at all. In fact, I felt very blessed by it. And I thought, oh, what's going to happen in January then? Am I going to become a medium or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have any mediumistic skills or abilities?
I mean, to be honest with you, when I'm healing, I do get messages. Not all the time. Obviously, it depends on how deep or how much I can close this mind off. But when I go deep, I do get messages. Yeah. Obviously, if I pull cards, things like that, I've got a great intuition. Yeah, and it's got me to where I am today. So we channel all the time, really, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you had a friend then who was an angelic Reiki practitioner herself.
Yeah, she was a master, actually. She was an angelic Reiki master. She was the one who actually put me onto the lady who I ended up booking the course with.
Yeah, you decided to do it for your own healing, isn't that right?
I did, that's right, yeah. You know, I just did angelic Reiki, and you could do self-healing. I didn't even hardly know what Reiki was then, I'll be honest with you. You know, I was just a normal Liverpool lad growing up, you know, and like I said, the way I dealt with things, it was going out having a laugh. But I just heard angelic Reiki, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that course. And I picked up the phone and I booked the course, and but it wasn't for a few months.
Okay.
And so I paid the deposit, and then obviously it was coming up a month after I booked the course. The course was not going to be for about 4 or 5 months. I got into December 2017, and basically that's when I had my mass spiritual awakening.
Okay. Do you want to tell the listeners about that then, in your own words?
What happened was I basically felt the energy. It was around Christmas time. I've been on the path of sobriety for like 6 months, and I felt like I just wanted to go back into my old ways. It was just like, you know, it's don't know what happened. I just thought, right, okay, so got the booze out. One thing led to another. Then it ended up, you know, obviously leads to something else, which is cocaine. And but you know, in all the 20 years I took it, nothing like this would ever happen in a million years. And what happened is, I was basically, you know me, I'm so intrigued in everything. And I got sucked into looking about the dark side. Not that I'm a dark follower, obviously, but I just started looking at it. And obviously, you know, I was, you know, intoxicated at the time, but I wasn't bladdered. I knew what I was doing. But basically, I started looking at this video, and there was all this words coming across about the dark side. And something said, do you agree in this? And I don't know what it was. I just went, yeah, I agree. Just like, yeah, test it, see what happens. But I'll tell you what happened next was, I just remember just going into this, like this haze and this like deep energy, like heavy energy. And I just remember just floating, just going. And next thing you know, I come face to face with a demonic entity, a lot taller than me. He had like red features with like little scales here, white here, little bits of blue, yellow. He had the horns. The only thing I can describe him as is probably maybe Lucifer. Who knows? Yeah. And he sat me down, and I was outdoors, sat down on a settee, and I was then surrounded by another group of them, and it's weird because when you transition, they will make that transition seem so just normal. Okay. This isn't normal, sat there on a settee in the fresh air, outdoors with demonics, but they made that transition for me to be just acceptable. Like I was sitting there with the lads in the pub. Okay. And next thing you know, I don't know how long it was going on for, just chatting away, just general chit chat, like he was, like I say, in the pub. Next thing you know, this loud voice come on in my head, but it was like a radio station tuning in, like this. And I went, whoa, because I knew about channeling. I knew that you wouldn't be able to hear spirit, and I knew I was hearing spirit now because I was intoxicated. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? How can I hear you? I've had a drink. And he said, Kevin, would you like to come home? And I said, no, I'm okay. I'm all right. I said, I'm only having a blowout. And he said, well, you need to stop watching that demonic SHIT on YouTube, just told bluntly. And I went, right, okay. And he said, what about the mission? And I said, I'm all right, I've got this. He said, okay. So next thing you know, once that voice had gone, let's call Lucifer said to come with me. So as I started walking and got up off the settee, I started walking. Next thing you know, I could hear the angels singing, and it was like a choir of angels. And I looked to my left, and I seen this path to my left, and it looked like a lovely like golden path, and I could see Jesus stood at the foot of the path with lovely like picturesque out like little villages and stuff behind him. It was like a lovely path going up. And he just stood there with a straight face. And I'm talking, he was probably only about 50 yards away from me to my left. And as I'm looking at him, it was like I was still given the choice. And then I started walking down. I was escorted down these big concrete steps. And as I started walking down these steps, it was like the walls of a cave, but it was still outdoors. And then I just started feeling this fear, so intense, right in my gut. And as I stopped halfway through the steps, I could see smaller steps going down, and there was an opening of this cave, and there was about 4 demonic entities stood at the opening of this cave. They were fully dressed, but they had the demonic heads with the horns and everything else. And I said, can I give this a miss? And Lucifer, I'm going to call Lucifer, turned around and said, seemed a little bit of a sigh, and he went, yeah, of course, you always have a choice. So what happened is, as I started walking up these stairs, these other demonics started really then taking the piss, basically, yeah. Feeling like, like things were going to get a bit out of hand. That's what I felt. I felt a little bit more fear. And then I just started praying. And I was given this prayer, and it was the prayer that I used to walk the path of sobriety for 6 months. And please, Lord Jesus Christ, come into my life, come into my heart, come into my soul. Please remove any low vibrational energies and never to return. That's what I was going to say, in the name of Jesus Christ. And as I was saying it, within the first few words, Jesus was come straight there to my right shoulder, Archangel Michael to my left shoulder. And the demonic just went like shocked in the face, like I've stepped into my power. And then basically I was told then I could leave. Okay. So one of the demonics said, "We'll see it again, Kev," cheekily. And I said, "No, you won't." Okay.
Yeah.
So, but then next thing you know, as I was allowed to start being escorted back, I started walking, and I was like walking through this rainbow, lots of psychedelic colours and things like that. And next thing you know, I walked through the wall in my bedroom, okay, and I seen a mound on the bed, all the bed duvets there and stuff, which I can only imagine was my body lying underneath, okay? And I felt there was other presences there, but there was a couple of demonics in my room as well. And they were asking me, was I okay? And they were laughing in my face. And I thought, don't reflect fear, don't reflect fear. So I just sat on my bed. And next thing you know, I just lay down on my bed. But I was getting all this, the most grotesque stuff projected into my mind's eye. It was like I was getting psychically attacked. I could see all kinds of disgusting stuff, maggots, blood, horrible looking skin, just visions of all demonic faces. It was just, I couldn't stop it, but I just thought, don't reflect fear. And next thing you know, as I've just laid there, and it's like I'm just started going into like a meditative state, I took a big gulp of air, and next thing you know, I'm in my body. I'm in my physical body. So I thought, wow, bloody hell, what's happened there? Like, you know, and at this time I wasn't even drunk. I was just like a little bit, scatty, a little bit shaken up. And so trying to get my head around it, you know, all the stuff had happened, which I'm going to write a book about. Actually, I'm starting to write in January coming up. And basically I come down the stairs at 2:30 in the afternoon. And so it was in December. It was a shiny, sunny day, obviously cold but crisp. So the sun was really shining through the blinds. And as I come down for a pint of water, there's this big, massive ball of light in my living room, like a big oval-shaped ball of light from the ceiling to the floor. And it was like you couldn't really make it out, look through it. It was just all dancing light. Okay.
Yeah.
And as it come toward me really quickly, and I said, "Whoa, stop! Who is it?" But I knew it was high vibrational, and I said, "Show me who you are." And excuse me, and it started to form into a blue blazer with brass buttons, and I knew straight away who it was, and it was my grandfather, because that was his favourite jacket whenever he was going out anywhere. That's what he'd wear to go for a pint with the lads.
Trademark.
Yeah. So I knew straight away it was him. I ran towards the, you know, trying to hug him. Just after what I'd just been through, it was just like, my granddad's here. And then next thing you know, I started hearing this laughter bouncing, like whizzing past my ears, like bouncing off the walls, going past. It was like something off a horror movie, but it wasn't scary. Like that, like a distant laugh and then bouncing back. As soon as I recognised the laugh, though, she come forward, and it was my little girl's mum who passed away.
Oh.
And she was smiling. I could hear her giggling, and I was so happy to see her. And next thing you know, my cousin who got killed, he come forward. I could see him. And then when I looked in the corner, I noticed like this blue energy, a big blue masculine energy, and he had a big sword next to him. And I knew straight away it was Archangel Michael. And I could hear this like muffle in my head, like, and then I heard, "This is your spiritual awakening." So what happened then is I started feeling physically ill, like I could really retch. Okay.
That day, was it?
Straight away.
Okay.
Started happening. And I ran up the stairs thinking I was going to be sick, come back down. They were still there. And I'm still like, and I went, "Can you take this energy off me?" So next thing you know, this green energy formed in front of me, and it was Archangel Raphael, and he actually had his hands in my stomach, working on my sacral and my solar chakras. And I was just like, and he was pulling out this like grey energy, and he was flicking it on the floor, and I could see this energy just bouncing and going back up to source. And so I couldn't get away from him. So I've sat down and he's gone to town and he's gone through my throat chakra. I could not get away from this energy. He was strong and he was going through every single chakra. And I just sat there, just looking at like my loved ones and just going, just getting work on me. And then next thing you know, this energy come in, like a golden energy just next to me. And when I looked like that, he had the cloak on and he turned like that. And he had this like band of gold, like a golden band here. And when he looked, it was Jesus in light body form, seeing his beard, his eyes sparkling. I was just so happy to see him, obviously. And that's what happened. You know, and Raphael worked on me for hours. My loved ones dispersed then over time. And it was like you didn't even recognize them going, you'd turn around, they'd be gone. And I was left with Raphael, Jesus, and Archangel Michael healing me. And in the end, it was Raphael who, when I fell asleep on the settee, he nudged me to go up to bed. He was just
How amazing is that to have Raphael work on your chakras like that?
The main guy.
We can all do with some of that.
Exactly. And that happened in December. And you know what, Ali, got to January, and I'll be honest, a couple of weeks later, I thought, I might have I wonder if I see them again. I had another little dabble, but this time it went really dark, and I went, that is enough. And I seen a lot of demonic stuff then, and he said to me, you're going to have to stop calling us. And ever since then, I just went, that's enough. But it was, as the prediction went, January, Kev, January, and that was that.
Yeah. And when you say you had a little dabble, do you mean that you were looking at demonic shit again?
No. As in the party, and I had another
drink
little
and the
party.
Yeah.
Another little party, and that was like that. Just it was like I had a vision. To be fair, as I started drinking and had another little bit of cocaine, Jesus was stood in front of me again. It's weird how it happens. It's like it was just normal for him to be there. And I actually shook his hand and went, this is the last one. And it was like, yeah, it is the last one, because we'll make sure of it.
Yeah.
And but it was like, you want to come and work with us, you're going to have to leave your muddy shoes at the door. And that's what happened. They got hell out the back pocket, or what I presumed as hell. And it was enough to get me to where I am today.
Amazing. And I know when you and I spoke, and when I watched our chat back, you said, well, I want to tell my story, but like only if you want to let your listeners hear it. And I said, well, it's your story,
Yeah.
But it was quite funny, because afterwards I said to you, do people believe you when you tell your story? And you said, no, my mom wanted to section me.
Yeah.
So, because I'm sure that you get that a lot. I'm sure, some people even now listening to you probably would go, seriously, that was the drink and the drugs. And
but I wasn't that intoxicated, Ali, to be honest with you. And do you know what? Even if people say I imagined it, well, some imagination, because it's got me to where I am today, and I'm healing thousands of people. So, and we all, we're all creators at the end of the day.
But it must be annoying that, not annoying, but it must be, because, what happens to us is part of us, and it's part of our story, and it's part of who we are, who we become. So I can imagine that, if there are people still who don't believe, because, to some people it will sound far-fetched. But I mean, I know, because obviously I work in the spiritual industry just as you do, and I know plenty of people who've channeled Jesus. I know plenty of people who've met Jesus, and who am I to say whether they have or they haven't? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's their experience.
And to be fair, that's coming from ego as well, thinking that Jesus is not within our reach. Jesus is, further down his path than us, as being ascended. But he doesn't think that he's higher or better than us. So it's just like, is one of the lads, is Jesus. No, it's not, if you open your heart to him, he will come to you. Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
Within us, all around us, all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we missed a little bit. I'm not sure. But didn't you get taken out of your body before the demonic entities come in?
Yeah, that's right. Before I got the prediction, it was off the lady when my grandfather was saying, keep walking the path. she actually said to me, the angels are telling me that they're going to let themselves be known to you in the next couple of weeks. So just be prepared. And what happened was I went for a nap on a Saturday afternoon about 2:30. I think I'd been to work that morning when I was a truck driver, and I thought I'll go and have a little nap in the afternoon. And what happened was I was lying there, and the same thing again. It's like I was like semi-awake. I started waking up, and I felt this being lift me from underneath my arm, underneath my legs and my shoulders, like I was a baby, and said, "Would you like to be taken?" And I went, "Yes, please." So I'm a daredevil this time. So so I remember just getting took up, and I actually remember going up out the bed, through the ceiling, up through the loft, and I was up in space, and I was trying to look what had hold of me, and it said, "Look down." So as I looked down, I could just see the earth. I was up in space, and I was thinking, why can't I was thinking in my head, why aren't I cold? Why can't I breathe? And next thing you know, bang, straight back in my body. I was like, did that just happen then? And then obviously within that week, it happened again about 2:30 in the morning. I got took out my body, and I was underneath the belly of an angel. This angel was about 10 feet tall, and I was actually stood with my bare feet. So like the angels flying like that, and the feet here, my feet are stood on top of their feet, and I could feel the sandals underneath my bare feet, and I could see the wings, and I was actually then underneath one of the wings, and as I looked, she come round, and she had red curly hair, a bit like yourself, Allie, to be fair, honestly. And she looked, and she didn't talk to me.
Except I'm 5 foot, not 10 foot.
Yeah, but she was androgynous looking as well, like a mixture of male and female. And next thing you know, basically I asked what her name was, and she telepathically told me that her name was Vanessa. That's what she told me. Yeah.
And did they ever tell you why they took you out, the angels?
No, I think this was just a way of waking me up, basically.
Connecting you to them as well, because
yeah, exactly,
yeah, to the angels now as well.
Yeah, and she did actually say to me, you've got to start keeping a journal next to your bed, because stuff is going to start happening to you, but I didn't expect all this,
What a journey, honestly.
I'll be honest with you, Allie, sometimes I think I wish it never happened, but I'm glad it did, because obviously it's about speaking me truth. And do you know what? I mean, I've even had messages off Jesus through other mediums when I became a healer. I first became an Angelic Reiki healer. And I come out a life coach. I'm trained to be a life coach as well. And a lady sent me a message saying, Jesus is here. And he said, people will laugh, people will smile, people will make fun. Keep on walking. Your healings will speak for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what they are doing at the minute.
Yeah, because you've got some amazing testimonials on your website and
on my Facebook business page. Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple go up in the last couple of days. Obviously, they're going up all the time, but one in particular really blew me sideways this week. A 15-year-old kid who just lost a friend 10 months ago, and she, her anxiety's become that bad. She's created OCD with it, and her mum brought her in for one session 2 weeks ago. She come in for the second session this week, and she just said it's like she's got the light back in her eyes. She's so much calmer. She's not reacting the way she used to with anger. And, this is what the angels do. I work with the angels every single day with Angelic Reiki. And this is the reason why I was woke up, because obviously I had a purpose. Yeah. Apparently I've been a healer in many lifetimes, but this one was about, getting rid of Kevin's ego and cracking on with what I've been here to do.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, so you're doing amazing things now. And I know that you've been to Ireland, my obviously home country, and you've been to the United States this year to teach people, what you know, and to teach them what would you call a program?
The Angelic Reiki modality. one or two.
modality.
Yeah,
Okay. You want to
I went to Canada as well. I
okay.
combined a trip Canada and Florida, and I'm off to Ireland again in 2 weeks to teach
Ah,
them their masters, because I actually taught them level 1 and 2 Donegal in July, so they're ready. They want me out there again in November. I've actually got a lady flying in from Baltimore as well to Ireland. She wants to get a level 3 and 4. I've been approached by people in LA, New York. That's probably going to be next year. I'm definitely going back to Florida in the spring, teach them the masters. I'm hopefully going to do maybe a level 1 and 2 there as well while I'm there, combine 2 great workshops. I've got a few workshops coming up in Liverpool in November and December. November's one in Liverpool would be the 22nd of November, that weekend. And you taught the modality over 2.25 days. You get your first attunements on what I like to start on a Friday evening for a couple of hours. And then on a Saturday morning, we do like, say, 10 a.m. till about 5 p.m. and the same times on the Sunday. And you come away with your certificate, and you get shown how to the practicals, how to conduct the healings. You get your attunements, and you get me as your master to help guide you on your way.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And just, I know that you and I spoke about this, but maybe other people don't know the difference between angelic Reiki and normal, like you say, Reiki or different forms of Reiki.
Yeah.
It's just really that you're working with the angels and that your signs are different.
Yeah, there's some different. I've attuned quite a few Usui Reiki masters. The ladies in Florida just said they actually refer to this. This is more like the 5G super Wi-Fi version. That's what they said to me. I was like, right, okay. I've never done Usui, so I can't comment. But they said, like, it's our energy bodies are tuned with the symbols, and we actually, we work directly with the angelic kingdom. Doing the clearance, doing the protection with Michael, and obviously then we get associated with our own healing angel, which mine is obviously Raphael, and we work directly with the ascended masters as well. And we are taught how to bring this energy in safely, correctly, and we just allow, we act as the channel, and let the angels do the work.
And has anybody, or even yourself, when you were being attuned to it, did you experience anything happening? Because I know when I did my Reiki here in Ireland, like other people were experiencing all these mad things, like different colors, and and they were like, "Oh, I felt like I was floating." I'm sitting there thinking, I didn't feel anything. So I always wonder, like, did you experience anything when you got your attunements? Or
yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I got my first attunement, I done mine in the March, so it was still quite like, when it goes dark early in the UK. So when I went back to the bed and breakfast, I could see, like, I could feel the presence of Michael. I could feel angels, but I could also see sparkles. I could see colours. It was like I was having my own little fireworks show in the bedroom. And then obviously when I was on my way to the first day of the attunements, I had a big flash of orange in my car, like as I was pulling up outside the lady's house.
Yeah.
And I was like, bang, and I thought it was a street light, but I thought, no, there's no lighting on, and it was a massive big orange ball of light just flashed in my face, things like that.
I wonder why some people experience that and others don't, but yet, I mean,
but it's like, some people are more clairvoyant or clairsentient. It just depends as well on their abilities. Some are more in touch than the others. So I suppose, and it's souls agreements as well, Ali. We've got to appreciate that.
True.
Yeah.
So you've got big things coming up, as you've just mentioned, and hopefully even a book that you're going to write.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Published.
Yeah.
And what else have we got? Just basically where people can reach you, your website, your Facebook, whether you're accepting friend requests.
Yeah.
I still think you should come to Ireland again. I know you're coming to Donegal, but I think you should come to the south of Ireland.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Or I'll have to come over there and visit you and have a healing over there.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Healings, of course, we have to have healings to keep our bodies tip-top.
I still get Reiki done on me, although I do what I do is when I do a self-heal, I do a meditation with it. And it's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, getting back to where people can contact me, basically on Facebook, Facebook business page, is Kev the Healer. Just type that in and you'll find me straight away. And that's where all my reviews are as well, from lovely clients who left their experiences. You can find me on Instagram at Kev Morris _Angelic Reiki _healer. I also have a web page. It's www.kevmorrisangelicreikihealer.com.
Perfect. And your surname, just to clarify for everybody, is spelled M for mother, O or for Roger, I-S.
That's correct.
Sugar.
That's correct. I've also got a little YouTube, Kevin Morris the Healer as well. We're only a few videos on there, but I've been busy traveling, so, you know, but this video will be going on there and start doing a little bit more on my YouTube as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited for you. It's about 2 years ago since you and I first met, I believe. And you were things were just starting to happen for you then. So I'm so delighted and excited and happy for you that things have taken off the way that they have. And I hope and I know that it will go from strength to strength for you.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I haven't been through that for nothing, have I, Allie?
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's no denying it. And, you know, when God or the angels or the universe or whatever we want to call it, doesn't matter, higher power has a plan for us, you know, it's there, it's going to happen somehow or other. And, you know, you did have to go through that, but you went through that so that you could be stronger as a result of it. And obviously probably, you know, has made your healing abilities even stronger and more powerful as a result.
Most definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin, for being here as a guest today. Really enjoyed listening to your story again. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you having me, Allie. I really do. Thank you.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. Absolutely. So for now, we're just going to say goodbye to the listeners and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.